Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is it?
Love Talk Radio.
We good. It's good.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. 721 BC. The Assyrian king took us down, we fell. With a great escape, we went to the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still.
To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Simeon, the Dominicans.
Our highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us.
At gunpoint.
Together our wives and children we sold us.
In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A higher gather us. Whoa. Oh. A highest gathering Israel. Oh. That's who we be, we be. Hit that like button as you come in, brothers and sisters. Hit that like button. Oh, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Our highest gathering Israel. Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is the Gathering of Christ Church. I'm Elder Rawchaa. You are here live this evening on this so-called Wednesday with Elder Lawya. How you doing this evening, my brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It feels good to be in the studio for the first time, so I'm happy to be a part of this experience. But
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to hit that like button as we all come in. I see people leaving messages on the board. Hey, where's Lawya?
Right.
You seen that that text?
No, sir.
They
No,
say,
sir.
where's Lawya? Did Lawya leave the church?
I tell you what, that'll be the day, right?
Listen. I'm bought with a price.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And hey, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to finish, and I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
And all praises be to the Most High, brothers and sisters. We have a very, very, very important broadcast for you all this evening, and of course, we all know you want to chime in, right? It's not going to be a long broadcast. I always say that, but sometimes it takes a turn for the length, for extended time. So we're only going to do about an hour and a half this evening, but we'll see where it goes, okay? If y'all would like to chime in, the phone number is 515-605 It's a 516-605-9327, right?
Mm-hmm.
515-605-9327. I'm sure that's the phone number here. And you can call on in and be a part of this. It's a very timely and needed discussion for you, brothers and sisters, for all of us this evening. And the title of this discussion, A Lost Nation Unprepared. Man, there's so many areas we can go with this particular title. A Lost Nation Unprepared. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to go into the Bible and constantly remind our brothers and sisters, and we have to be constantly reminded ourselves of
That's
the
right.
times we're living in. We're living in serious times, and it seems our people are unaware. Okay? Immorality at an all-time high. The majority of the political and religious leaders are without direction. We've tried the political system. It hasn't worked. We've tried going to church, and hopefully a pastor or a preacher who have heard from God can give us the direction for our lives, to none avail. I mean, if it have come to the extreme where I know I've gone through a few things where growing up, you would try different things. You would try different avenues, so to speak. You go from Christianity to black awareness, listening to a little Farrakhan, putting in a little Malcolm X, and, you know, trying to find oneself in direction. And it still leaves us to the same destitute position to some degree. It seems no one is preparing for the most prophetic time in world history, folks. We're living in it. And I'm going to talk about it. An economic world collapse. Now, not to panic. This is not about panicking. We are about solutions. Okay? If history or life experience, if it haven't taught us anything, at the end of the day, folks, you're in charge of your destiny. At the end of the day, regardless of someone else's intentions, you must make that you're right with the Most High. Make sure you're right with the Most High and prepare accordingly, regardless of what I say or anyone else say. Okay? Something is happening. Time is speeding up. A lot of things are going on. And it's like we're living in the calm before the storm, right? So the question I have here, is there anything we can do to prepare for these times? And of course, tonight, we're going to bring out a few things. Okay, we're going to bring out a few things tonight concerning how the media is actually now presenting an avenue by programming the people. They are creating an avenue in which, authorities will soon be engaging what they would call black identity extremists. And that's Bible prophecy also. And that's one of the key reasons I'm going here this evening. There's really no reason out there, I'm going to make it clear, there's really no reason out there that any group, a black group, there's no reason out there in which the government can actually come against a group as a threat against national security within the United States. That doesn't exist. I don't care whether it's Israelites, Nation of Islam, whatever the case is. There is no group that's planning to overthrow America. Okay, that doesn't exist unless they create one. Right? It really doesn't exist. The Nation of Islam have been around since how long? How many tens of years? They're the closest thing or the closest organization blacks have ever had that has any what you would call relation to a military force or some type of brute force that can stand up against the authority. And what? Not one act of terrorism have happened, within the Nation of Islam against America. A matter of fact, the Nation of Islam are known more for the violence they've done against black people than America. Mm-hmm. So if they can't organize and be the threat, there will be no black extremist threat against America. Let me put that out there. Okay? Let me put that out there first. There is no organization of black people looking to join Al-Qaeda or ISIS, or we're getting in front of that narrative right now. That doesn't exist. Okay? So when we talk about preparation, we're not talking about preparation for physical revolution.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's not about physically engaging anyone. The weapons of our warfare aren't carnal, and guess what? Blacks, or I would say minorities, if they would like to call us, are not unified enough to even think about. We're not even unified we can't even be unified to throw a block party without a fight breaking out. That's one block. That's one block. So if you think some extremist is going to grow within the black community to overthrow America, come on, folks. And I'm getting in front of this now because that's the way the world powers are going. They're going to use media to try to create some type of extreme group within the black community, claiming that the blacks are joining with people on the outside of the country, and now they must engage us or black people, as a threat to national, because these so-called blacks are a threat to national security. You're going to hear about this, and guess what? It's nothing new because I talked about this a long time ago, years ago on the street, teaching a path to the mark of the beast. That they were going to switch out bin Laden or whoever. No one even talk about bin Laden anymore. And they're going to then focus on blacks as the national threat against America. Right? And I'm going into this right now. 515-605-9327 is the number you can call in. And I want to talk about a lost nation unprepared. We're living in serious times and our people are unaware. Immorality is at an all-time high, and the majority of the political and religious leaders are without direction. They're rudderless. It seems no one is preparing for the most prophetic time in world history, the time we're living in right now. Eventually, it will be a rendition. In order for them to bring forth a new world order, and this is not a conspiracy here, they must collapse the modern system. The current system must be collapsed in order for the world powers to bring forth a new world order. Unfortunately for us, the poor, the destitute, the people who are without, right? At the end of this new world order, we are extinct. And that's just the truth. And I'm going to go into that a little later also. At the end of this order, there'll be no need for the slave population. They've already replaced us in America as a working class for all the jobs we used to do. Think about it. But I'll go there in a moment also. But the question I have out there, is there anything we can do to prepare in these times, knowing that the weapon of our warfare isn't carnal, and that regardless of how they try to paint this awakening as some type of, existential threat against the world powers, right? Is there any way we can prepare spiritually and otherwise to make it through these times? One moment here. Let me fix something here. One moment.
That right there, the keyboard.
One moment. One moment. Yeah. Now, tonight I would like us to discuss some options before the complete rendition begins in America. And we're going to talk about that rendition, which is written in Bible prophecy in the book of Esdras. Okay? Now, 515-605-9327. Is that the number?
Mm-hmm.
515-605-9327 is the number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call on in so we can get this thing working. All right? Now, before I go into this, I'm going to go into some Bible prophecy earlier. I'm going to show you something, a comedy special, a trailer of it right now, of a comedy special now, right? This is the comedy trailer, right? Now, years ago, we talked about this movie they were looking to come out to label black people who are awakened to their true national origin as the children of Israel. That they was going to make a movie trying to tie black Israelites or the children of Israel, our people, to who? To terrorists. They had a movie coming out years ago, but the majority of those who know they're Israel got in front of it. We all went out on YouTube and told people, don't believe this garbage, okay? They're going to use a movie to demonize the awakening. They don't like the fact black people in America or abroad are out there, are publicly claiming to be the children of Israel. They don't like that, folks. It's a threat to what they feel, not national security, but world security. It leads to another question. Why? Because if these people are the children of Israel, then who are those people over in the Middle East claiming to be the children of Israel? See, it's a question that they don't want to publicly discuss. So instead of discussing this, they'll do what? They'll demonize to try to stop the awakening. They'll use their media to make it more so a joke if one claimed that they're the children of Israel. Or they'll promote a radical as one of the awakening who stake claim as the children of Israel. Only if you're black, though. Right? I need y'all to check this out, folks, because a lot of you brothers and sisters out there have to get in front of this and know what it means for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Christianity can no longer serve as a snare for our people. Our people are walking away from that fallacy. Okay? We're walking away from paganism altogether, and your spells can no longer work. The Most High God of Israel has broken the spell. So because of this now, they must target the unlearned, impressionable population against the awakening. Look at this. I want you all to check this out. Pass me this right here. Yeah, just unplug that. I don't want to mess nothing up. Because they need to hear this. I would play it through the actual stream you're seeing, but I don't want any copyright issues or anything like that, so I have to play it independently outside the broadcast. I hope you all can see this clearly. And guess what? We said this would happen. A movie coming out called The Day Shall Come, the official trailer. Check this out. Hold on, let me see if I can get the volume on here. Okay, don't worry about it.
It's on.
It's on now?
Yep.
Okay.
Pitch me the next 9/11.
Prepare ye, for the day that approaches is the day of the great revolution.
What? Come on, tell me this ain't good. Oh, God.
Welcome back. Parking lot hatch up. Lots to fill you in on.
Pitch me the next 9/11.
What about this guy Moses Shabazz?
Classic lone wolf.
There's 4 of them, actually.
Back to lone wolves. How'd that happen?
The Almighty commands us to bring that knowledge to the street. May you live to see the accidental dominance of the white race overthrown.
Could you walk him across the line?
Of course.
We give him a fake bomb and the guy tries to use it. We had the next Bin Laden.
My mission is to change the lives of poor people without the gun weapon.
Let's offer some fun. Some automatic weapons?
Activating recording.
Perhaps your army needs weapons?
No, we don't believe in guns. And if necessary, we'll call on the dinosaurs. We believe that at the sound of a trumpet, they will come to our aid.
I've made a mistake. I think he's delusional.
I smell doubt.
No, look, I am just a guy standing here talking to another guy trying to send a third guy to jail.
Being played, Mo. What if I'm playing them? Whoever it is playing me.
He's here?
What do we do now?
If you can pay us $50,000, I can show you a man trading AK-47s.
He did just report us as the threat.
This is his get out of jail card.
His get out of jail card is going to jail. It's just the horn they used to summon the dinosaurs.
We know this emergency is groundless.
Correct.
But the emergency exists,
Right.
and you can't take control of something if you're saying it doesn't exist.
So to stop a nuclear emergency, I have to declare a nuclear emergency?
Say it slowly. Keep the contradictory elements apart.
Then I guess we have a nuclear emergency.
Good play, Agent.
I know you couldn't hear it all clearly, brothers and sisters, but what they said was here. What they said here was, let's create the next 9/11. Now, they was going to make a real, a complete thriller, a real movie showing blacks as Israelite extremists plotting against the American government. But yet we began to talk about it a few years ago and got in front of it. So what they did, they just flipped the script literally and made it a comedy with the same narrative showing blacks doing what? Blacks connecting overseas with Middle Eastern terrorists as domestic threats against America. Do y'all think that's a joke? Is that a joke? Make sure you hit the like button as we come in right here. Now, 9 times out of 10, they were able to cast probably a Christian who hate Israelites anyway. 9 times out of 10, that guy that they got to play this part was a black Christian who's making fun of the Israelite awakening. Right? At the same time, the government is also pushing this title called Black Identity Extremists. What people right now with a Bible are identifying themselves as the people of the Bible that they deem or label black? Well, they've created a name that we never, that we never state claim to. They created a name, Black Israelites. And now they put out a movie to show you exactly who they're targeting. Not that Israelites are looking to do anything against government. Not that. What does it mean if our people begin to awaken to the fact that we're the children of Israel and all that comes with it? Keep in mind, you have some people in the Middle East fighting right now. Why? They have staked a biblical claim as the children of Israel, and through this, Wars have ensued in the Middle East with them doing what? You got it. Getting property, prophetic property, okay? Getting prophetic property restored back to the Jews or the Israelites, according to the Genesis and the borders that were promised to Abraham. So suppose our people began to awaken to the fact that not only is this the moral answer for our people, understanding we're the children of Israel, we'll begin to love and treat each other better according to God's law. We'll understand that territory is also attached to that identity. That's a threat. Not that they don't care about the threat of someone physically engaging them. Who control the world armies? Nuclear powers. Who makes the weapons? So it's not a physical threat they fear. It's that what? It's the awakening. It's the fact that now we can stand on our own with our God against theirs. They fear this, folks. So that leads me back to my original question. And I hope you all are listening to me here on Blog Talk. It leads me back to my original question here. Right? A lost nation unprepared. What are we going to do to prepare ourselves for what's to come? Knowing their plans against those who are awakening. Like I've mentioned for those who've just come in, we're living in serious times and it seems our people are unaware. Immorality is at an all-time high. The majority of the political and religious leaders are without direction. It seems no one is preparing for the most prophetic time in world history, an economic world collapse is upon us, right? One moment. Is there anything we can do to prepare in these times? Let's discuss options before the complete rendition begins here in America. Keep in mind, while most of us are distracted by TV, there's something going on right on the outside of us. Show me that wall real quick. See it? There you go. Just hit the eye on there. See that? Who's that in front of the wall? What is the wall being built for? Huh? Let's get the next one on top of that. Kick off that one, go to the next one. At the same time, within American borders, guns, the laws are being passed throughout the United States and the gun states to do a mass gun confiscation before engagement. A lost nation unprepared. Something is being prepared, but what will we do in the wake of it? Understanding the times. I'm going to go into it in the Bible, and then I'm going to ask you all, within your four walls, in your home, what are you doing personally to prepare for the times we're living in today and the time that will come when the grid goes out, when there's no longer access to supermarkets, right? When they cut off the lights for a moment. What will we do? A lost nation unprepared. 515-605-9327 is the phone number. I need you all to chime in and understand what's being planned. It's no longer against Arabs anymore. You never hear anything about terrorism through Islamic extremism anymore. They've moved that off the table. Now who's on the table? You got it. You got it. Boom. These people are on the table. See that? There's so many layers to this. But the question is, what are we doing to prepare our families for the times we're living in, and what will soon be before us? 515-605-9327 if you would like to chime in. I see someone just chimed in, 318 area code. I'm going to bring them in, and then I'm going to read a few scriptures. And Lawya, you can give me your insight on some of what I've just discussed.
Absolutely.
You want to give me your insight? I know the wheels are turning there, right? 515-605-9327. 515-605-9327. And of course, I have a lot of announcements to do tonight. I will do in a couple of moments. We have some projects. We have a lot of things going on so that we can actually do what? So that we can get resources to help, to do what we can. So we're using the gift the Most High have allowed us, to have with our hands to help as many people as possible with the gifts we've been blessed with. And I'm going to discuss those. I'm going to discuss the academy. I'm going to discuss the music project we have out, because these are the things we can use to consolidate finances and resources to continue to spread the word and help others. Spread the word, get into our communities and let our brothers and sisters know that they've been dealing with this whole thing completely wrong. They've been dealing with the political system completely wrong. They've been dealing with religion completely wrong. And I'm going to give you an example of this real quick, right? And this is why they are afraid of the awakening. With the awakening comes that connection with the Most High that leads to solutions. It's that connection where you're no longer listening to their narrative. I've listened to you for years, have voted until my arm fell off, Democrat, and look at the state of my people, look at the state of society. Immorality is running roughshod over our people. I've listened to your pastors. I've went to church religiously. I've paid my tithes and offerings. Okay, I've dedicated my life as a Baptist or a Christian or a Catholic or whatever the case is to your religious system to none effect. My families are destroyed. My communities are destroyed. They are afraid of this awakening because with this awakening comes solutions on the outside of their direction, looking to funnel us into that picture I just showed you earlier, the orange jumpsuit. I'm going to show you just one example how the awakening can help. If I know I'm an Israelite, I begin to read the Bible and begin to look into the laws of civility, of how we as a people used to interact one amongst another. So knowing I'm an Israelite is not to just challenge other religions. No, it's to have me look at it as a viable solution for my family. So I need to look into the civility laws of it, right? And this is why they fear the awakening, particularly of us knowing we're Israel. Think about it, folks. If I know I'm an Israelite, right? And let's just say, right, someone did something wrong against me, right? Or just say someone shot someone in my family, right? This happens in our community all the time. So instead of going to law, we begin to look in the Bible to see how to settle these things to avoid what you would call heinous crimes and all that within our communities going forward. We don't look on the outside of us for solutions. We go into the Bible and look at the laws concerning someone harming us within. Now, this is what they fear. If you were to harm me or my family or take something from me, right? That family had to personally indemnify or restore me whole. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with the government. So who benefits if there's a benefit from harm? The family who was harmed. If someone stole or killed someone in my family, they would have to restore that. They would have to make amends to me. See, and they don't want that brotherhood to happen where we begin to govern ourselves righteously. Why? Because we're living in a prison complex that thrives off of slave labor. That means you kill or harm me, And guess who benefits? The industrial prison complex. Your loved one goes to jail, work the rest of their life, and make millions of dollars for the corporations while you stay broke with nothing. Shouldn't that money that person make in jail goes to the family that was harmed? See, they don't know that it's a law in the Bible that says it's supposed to. Now look at all of our people in jail right now. Right? And who's benefiting from that? Murderers, killers, thieves, who have totally ripped apart their own community. But none of the money they're making is going towards healing that community. See, this is why they don't want us folks to understand where Israel, because we'll begin to understand it's deeper than arguing religion. We'll begin to govern ourselves and come up with solutions for ourselves outside of them, and they fear that. Our God has given us the solutions. They've always been there in the Bible. So I'm going to put this out there beforehand. One thing that I will do, or that we need to do as a lost nation, unprepared, is number one, read and understand the moral, civil, and dietary laws in that Bible and receive the wisdom of them. That's the first step. I don't want to hear this crap about the white man wrote the Bible, this, that, and the other. Nah. Ignore that crap and go right into the wisdom of why the Most High gave us the Word of God and apply that to your life. It will mean, you guess right, it will mean literal life or death for all of us. It can guide us out of some serious error. But I just wanted to show an example, Elder Lawya, just one example that takes your religious leaders, your politicians out of the way, your judges out of the way. Anyone that's harming in our communities by anyone must be restored by the person who harmed them. See that? No finances go to the government to pay for more schemes against our people in the community. This is why they fear the awakening, brothers and sisters. And that's the reason why they're trying to demonize black people or poor people claiming to be the children of Israel. 515-605-9327. The title of our program today is A Lost Nation Unprepared. I guess I've set the floor.
Oh, yes.
Right? We've set the floor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? And I'm sure a lot of you would like to say a few things. Let me bring a few people in, and then we're going to dive right into this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Let's go to 318 area code. Shalom. Okay, now, if I call your phone number, please mute our broadcast in the background, okay? I'm going to pull you back again, 318. Make sure I'm not playing in the background, okay? It feeds back in the broadcast, all right? 318 area code. Shalom.
Okay. I'm here.
I'm still hearing myself, sister.
Okay. Muted.
Okay, sister. A Lost Nation Unprepared. You're live.
Do I quit on the phone?
Excuse me?
I'm on my, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to place you on hold. Get it together, sister. Get it together. All right. Elder Rawchaa. Bring Elder Rawchaa in. Shalom, Elder Rawchaa.
Hey, hello. Shalom, elders. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm blessed by the best. It's so good to hear from you, my brother. Talk to me.
Man, I just actually came onto the broadcast before, so I didn't catch it from the beginning. But I mean, just what I'm hearing right now, it's in a sparking a lot of thought things that I've thought about, before. Like I remember Elder, and I always go back to when I just met you, right? And we were doing the Truth on Peace FM, and it's like you said, the truth answers a lot of questions, and give not just answers questions, it gives the solution. So right away I saw it and said, listen, everybody, every week we should be doing a program or a broadcast dealing with this information and this knowledge. Why? Because it's like you said, it goes back into self-governance. It goes, when you look at the Bible, really and truly, the Bible is our constitution as a nation of people that shows us right from wrong and how to govern the nation of Israel. Murder, theft, rape, all the crimes that you see plaguing our society, right? If we turn back to the laws of the Bible and turn back to this way of life of self-governance, going back to the Most High, I mean, it would be profound. And let me read a scripture here that comes to mind. All right, just listening to the conversation here. I'm in the book of Deuteronomy. I'm in the 4th chapter, and I'm at the 5th verse. All right? Let me get it here. And it says here, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So it just on that, right? If we as a nation of Israel operate under the laws, under the rules, under the constitution prescribed for us, right? Even the nations round about will look and go, yo, this is a wise people. Linking back into Isaiah 49, 5 and 6, when it says that we should be a light unto the not just to Israel, but even to the nation. So this is a fear factor for every nation who has exploited the children of Israel, because if you can get these children as slaves right now, who were told that they were nothing, who believed that they were nothing, to come back to their constitution, to their rules, to their laws, and be able to self-govern. Because ultimately that's where we're headed, We
Exactly.
are self-govern.
Exactly.
And,
you broke up.
Listening to the conversation, like you said, it's multi-layered in going into it like a nation unprepared. When you say, listen, it's not about there was a broadcast I was watching a few days ago by a Christian pastor, and he was coming on and he was talking about the social injustice going on, the disadvantage that we have had, and basically, in a nutshell, he was saying to the people, listen, you can't blame, don't blame the white man, right? Now, I agree in part, but check this out. If you are not going to tell the people that they are the children of Israel, and tell them who they are, and tell them why they're in this condition, then there's no way you can tell them no way you can tell them not to point the finger at who is oppressing them. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of the truth now. When we have the truth, is that I'm not telling you not to blame the white man because I'm an Uncle Tom, or I love the white man, or I love my oppressor. No, I'm telling you, understand the condition that we're in and what caused that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why there's nobody cannot resolve this problem without coming to who we are. It's an impossibility. It's impossible for you to resolve our condition, resolve where we are without stating why and who we are to begin with. I mean, it's like you said, okay, the people over there in Palestine, everybody cling on to the fact that, okay, they are Jewish, right? And based on that, they have received land, wealth, all sorts of stuff they have received, claiming that. As a matter of fact, something came out a few weeks ago talking about Holocaust survivor, and I want to know who is this last Holocaust survivor right now, because based on what we have some young Holocaust survivors right now that they're sending reparations to our people, who's been displaced as a result of that. So, our people, the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, the native Hispanic, the native Indians, we all have to come and say, listen, every group on this earth, every nation on this earth is able to come together to on some common ground. We know must come together on our common ground, which is the Constitution, which is the Bible, which is our foundation. And like I said, going back over it, this is a deep conversation to have just on the surface of it.
Yeah.
You with me?
And I was
just on the surface of it. It's a deep. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying these are some great points you've just made, because number one, yes, I understand what black preachers are saying by don't blame the white man, but they're not in position to actually state that. And the reason why is we're blaming white people because we don't know who to blame.
Exactly. That's right.
We don't know. We're grasping at why are our people suffering so, and someone must be the blame. So what we're saying is, yeah, white people in other nations took advantage of our condition, but what responsibility do we have for our own condition? You understand? So, so pastors, they're coming out saying you can't blame the white man. Well, why don't you show them who to blame? The whole deal is we have to look back at our history and see that we're the people who sinned against God, and through that, a curse came. And then through that, we'll look at it and say, well, okay, how can I overcome now the curse of my forefathers? And with these laws, we can begin to crawl out of this hole our forefathers put us in. And then it wouldn't be no time to be focusing on white people. We'll be focusing inwardly on fixing ourselves by blaming ourselves and blaming the negatives we're contributing to society, with the separated families and the selling of drugs and to the totally immorality that's being pushed within our communities. We'll begin to take ownership. And that's what the Bible is about. That's what the laws are about. But go on. I just wanted to say, Elder Rawchaa, that was a great point you made, where pastors are saying, well, you can't blame the white man, but you're still leaving them without solution. They have to blame. There has to be someone's fault I'm in this condition. What are you talking about? So the white man is the easiest target I can look at: slavery, slave ships, and all that. And then they'll come at you and say, and I've heard this years ago, and I never understood it more so than I understand now, why they respond with, well, your people sold you to us, right? You know that there was black people in Africa who made deals to sell you. We weren't going into Africa grabbing you. It still comes back to the disobedience within our people. And see, and this is what they fear. They fear us now coming to a conclusion in which we're not looking to the white man for a solution anymore. We don't want their solution. We don't want your Democrat. We don't want your Republican. We don't want your welfare. The only thing we want to be left is alone to serve our God. like before the Most High, like Pharaoh, like Moses told Pharaoh. We just want to be separated from your madness so that we can serve our own God. Now, of course, there's no land they can give us because we know Christ will return the land to us. But all in all, just leave us alone. Don't engage our space. We don't need you making movies about us. We don't need you trying to demonize us. We're not blaming you, white man, no more. Just leave us alone to serve our God. Right? But go on, God. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, you know, I'm wondering right now if they would prefer us to blame the white man than turn into our God.
Exactly.
It's a serious position. You know, it's a serious position right now when the children of Israel, when the children are saying, yo, listen, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, we don't need them.
Everything that you have brought is death, destruction. None of your plans have worked. Nothing that you have brought has brought any solutions to us. Your politics don't work. Your church don't work. Nothing works. Your education system don't work. Your economics don't work. So right now, okay, then listen, let us go back from whence we fell. Let's go back to the Most High power. Let's pick up our Constitution, which is the Bible. Okay, let's go back to that, and let us build from that point. Let us be. It's like you said before. Let us not go to the unjust for justice. Okay, within our own communities, we can judge and judge rightfully. You know, and just a thought just came to my mind as well. There was a hurricane that went through the Bahamas, man. I want to say
our prayers,
you know, my prayers out there to all the people that were affected. I think we have some people within the church that got affected, got really affected. And I was speaking to the Bishop Yatta from Trinidad about like putting together like a little relief to give some assistance to some of the people over there. You with me? Especially those amongst the church. Yeah. So we catching hell all over, Elder. You with me?
Yeah.
So
yes, we will we will do a relief fund for the brothers and sisters who are suffering under the hurricanes, and our prayer go out to them. You will be hearing out there, brothers and sisters, that we will be doing a relief fund, and not one dime will go to us personally. Every last cent will be sent over there into the islands to help our brothers and sisters, the same way we did in Puerto Rico, the same way we did in other areas. We will not take the money for ourselves. The money will go directly to those in need. But go on, Elder Rawchaa. Yeah, hey, Rawchaa, I want to make an example. I just want to put something out there real quick, right? And I know we have digressed off of the topic, and I'm gonna go back to it in a second. Just what will happen in the United States, Rawchaa, if all of our people got together in the communities, be it black, Hispanic, all the poor people, even the poor that are suffering in the community regardless of ethnicity, and say, let's all come together, right? We all know someone right now in our families who's living in prison due to crime. And let's all make a legislation where the money no longer goes to the prison complex, that everyone who've done any criminal act against a particular person, the money they're making inside the prison will go towards the families that were harmed in the communities. What do you think? What do you think would happen if that was to happen? What do you think would be the answer? Think about it. Give me your insight. If we were to say, I'm saying, God, to think about it, because the Bible says we're supposed to restore. If I harm you and hurt your family, what good is it that the government put me in jail and make money off of me? What good is that for your family when you can't even bury your own family after they were killed or after they was harmed? What good is it? The government would be like, well, don't worry about it. I'll handle them. Take them to court. I'll prosecute them. I'll give you the prosecution, because why? We need slave labor. Our people haven't even thought on that level. And it's deep, because I was reading the Bible and I seen the civil laws and understand why they don't want us to read those laws. Because then we'll start to ask, well, we'll say, well, according to our God, You're not supposed to benefit from this. If that dude was, if that dude did something to me and harmed my family, then he's supposed to restore. He's supposed to make sure the funeral is paid. His family is supposed to get together and make this right with me. I don't want you benefiting from this, and they are afraid of that. So it's deeper than eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, and all this stuff. It's deeper than it comes down to the everyday civil solutions for our people. And this is what they fear us knowing we're Israelites. We'll start to look at this from what you would call a diplomatic standpoint, but go on, or a political standpoint, but go on.
Well, the truth be told, Elder, right? The truth be told is that the government, right? The government, and I'm seeing, and I'm seeing it more. Even, I'm seeing it more. The government, they don't want the crime to stop. They want our people committing these crimes because, one, like you said, the prison complex, it's big business. In the UK, it costs, I think the last time I looked it up, to house one prisoner for the year was something like was over £50,000. And the judges get paid, the lawyers get paid, everybody get paid from that. We even had a situation where the twins in Birmingham were going to do a documentary, and the police approached them and told them not to, because had they done that, it would cut funding for the police system. So they don't, that's one aspect of it. They don't want the crime to stop. The second part of it now is that if our people, the children of Israel, right, which makes up the majority, right, living in these ghettos, we're to do this now, these prisons would shut down. There would be no more, they would close down one. No, that's what would happen. There would be no more prisons. If the people said, yo, listen, all of this money, this make it a legislative, then the prisons would have to shut down. And if we enforced it, then I believe that then these prison complexes would link in with government, and it would be war on the people. I honestly believe that's where, because check it out, they don't want the crime to stop. How is it now that slaves on the plantation right now are dictating how the plantation runs? It would be chaotic. It would be total pandemonium for the system. The prison complex makes up a large part of American economy. That's how America competes with China. Believe it or not. If people don't know, you with me? The prison labor is slave labor. Who makes it up? Negroes, Judah,
exactly,
and Ishikar, Mexicans. That's who makes it up. That's who the majority of people in the prison system in America is. It's slave labor. It's America uses the prison system to compete with the trade wars. So if we did that, we would cripple a part of the American economy, and that's war. That's war, and we'll be terrorists. Outright terrorists.
Man, go ahead, gotcha. See, you got me going right now, because think about it. Think about it. If we were to use the Bible as the constitution of how we govern ourselves and say, well, listen, the crime can now finance the social ills within our communities now, right? So here it is, right? All the people where the father is taken away out of the home, don't worry about that. You don't need welfare. You don't need nothing. All this money is to make sure that child without a father in the prison complex is taken care of, right? No more welfare. Matter of fact, the model we'll use is the model that was taken from us. We'll use, all this ADOS, okay, that's a level of it, but we'll use the Jewish model. If there's someone else who have harmed us outside of our people, we are survivors of those Holocausts, slavery and all that, and we need that money too. We're going to need you to restore us for the slave labor from the cotton fields, from the steel mills, from us building the trains. And guess what? We don't have to ask you for nothing. It's restoration. You've made a multi-trillion-dollar machine off of slave labor. Okay? Now, this is an easy fix. We'll use the Jewish model for our people. And now, not one person within our community will suffer going forward. Not one. Not one person. Everyone will benefit. Right? Everyone will benefit because the criminal complex and the people that's in jail, they would work to, and guess what? They would work hard knowing that the money's going directly to a son or daughter that's on the outside of prison. Right? So why am I putting this out there, folks? What I'm talking about isn't a pie in the sky. What I'm talking about is in the Bible. Everything that I've mentioned right now is part of the civil law of restoration and restitution. And that's why they don't want us reading the Bible. That's why they say it's a white man's book. It's a white man's book. Don't go into the Bible. Why? Because it's those people who are benefiting from those laws. They're using those laws to get Holocaust checks. They're using those laws and all that for restitution amongst themselves. It's a solution. It's a biblical solution from on high, and they know it. And I wanted to put that out there. Real quick, we're at the top of the hour. I need you to hold on real quick, Gaja. We're going to go into the troubled times, what they're about to plan, and then we're going to ask a question. What can you do to prepare for this? All right? Because you know, I'm just putting it out there because I don't know if brothers and sisters knew that restitution was in the Bible on every level. Even if a brother tried to get with a sister and say, you know what? I no longer want to be with her. There was laws to make sure you think twice before crossing that line in the Bible. Either you're going to have 2 feet in all the way or you dare even look at her. That was in the Bible. What sister would want that law enforced amongst our community? Right? A lot. And guess what? It's in the same. It's in the same Bible. I'm gonna put you on hold real quick, Lawya. God, and bring you right back. It's in the same Bible your preachers has right now. They have this in their church right now, but have yet to go into it. It was the answers to all the issues that are going on in the churches, but yet they dare to go into the Old Testament to govern their churches accordingly. Need y'all to check that out. We're at the top of the hour, our discussion today, and please hit the like button. 515-605-9327 is a number if you'd like to call in and talk about this. Our topic today, a lost nation unprepared. What are we willing to do? What are we going to do discerning the times? We're going to come right back with the next hour. Elder Lawya, I need you to read the announcements, but before then, we have a few breaks. Okay, a few breaks that we have to put out there real quick, and then we're jumping right in. I want to hear, brothers and sisters, your personal solutions. Number one, we need to read this Bible with our families and come up with real-time solutions and, believe it or not, insight for preparation. One moment.
The elders of the Gathering of Christ Church would like to invite you to enroll in the new upcoming Hebrew and Bible Academy, which begins December 23rd. The Academy is a 3-month online course which includes 12 live biblical lessons taught by the elders every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We deliver weekly analyzed news with Elder Rawchaa and Deacon Shapat with commentary on how it relates to Bible prophecy. Elder Rawchaa insightfully teaches each online Bible lesson in a personal classroom setting to enrich your learning experience. Additionally, Elder Lawya provides an introduction to the original Hebrew language, including grammar and conversational Hebrew. For new and returning students, now is a great time to enroll. as we are happy to announce that we have added never-before-taught lessons on Daniel 9, the prophecy of the final 7 years, the Battle of Armageddon, and the 1,000-year reign. This intensive course has been meticulously customized and enriched with PDF booklets and downloadable videos, automatically emailed to you after every live lesson. Enroll today at historytimes.org or email us at gatheringas1@aol.com. We look forward to seeing you there. All right, we're back just to make a few announcements. Specifically, these announcements are coming from the GOCC network. These are the businesses that you will be able to find on the GOCC network, starting off with Trust Tax Services, which is independently owned income tax company. We have Righteous Designs, which is uniquely designed garments and products. Desired Promise, natural products including hair butters, body butters, scrubs, and more. Shea and Company Consulting, professional legal advice from Deacon Shapat. A book called Recovering from Autism, One Family's Journey of Hope and Healing. Be Something Apparel, biblical themed designs for men and women. Raffi Institute, custom jewelry and accessory line. Genesis Natural Order, natural alternatives to health and beauty products. He-Brain Publishing, children's book series. House of Napa, which is health, wellness, and beauty services. Judaware, which is custom apparel designs. Exodus Herbal Gum and Tooth Powder. Herbal Gum and Tooth Powder. Above Rubies, homemade hair care products with moisturizing butters and oils and extracts. Wholesome Publications, which is business cards, bookmarks, flyers, brochures, posters, banners, magnets, table covers, and more. Ahia's Promise Herbals, which is natural body scrub, deodorants, creams, oils, and more. Hands from Ahia, which is custom zeets or fringes. Fringes by Sis Mav, which is custom-made Hebrew attire, including dresses, garments, scarves, shawls, tassels, and more. That comprises the list of the businesses that are a part of the GOCC network. If you're interested, you can go to our website, gatheringofchrist.org, and we have a section on our website dedicated solely to the GOCC network.
And I'm glad you're bringing this out, Lawya, because a lot of our brothers and sisters, even those who are not in the church, are showing their talents by actually, advertising and showing their gifts through our GOCC network. We want brothers and sisters to know out there that we need to prefer our own people and actually help them with their businesses. And that's what the GOCC network is all about. And I'm going to say, I'm glad you mentioned that about the Hebrew and Bible Academy, because we went into the spirit that's behind modern day Christianity. And a matter of fact, someone sent the letter. I know you read the letter, right? The letter says, "Dear elders, this teaching has broken the camel's back. I just can't stop listening to this message." It says, "Every academy, the Holy Spirit is taking you higher. All praises be to him. I'm just a teacher. I'm a servant. And I'm so blessed to be alive during this time. This teaching will destroy every teaching of all Sunday churches. All praises be to the Most High to give me all this truth. May the Most High continue to overshadow you, Elder Rawchaa and Elder Lawya, with his spirit and in the academy forever." It says, "Your sister in Christ, Viola." And Sister Viola, thank you for the support, but I wanted to go into it from an angle, from a biblical angle, so that you'll know it's not attacking Christians. A lot of our brothers and sisters are just, they don't know that they were brought up in paganism like us. So I like to bring it from an angle of saying, listen, I was first a Baptist. I was first a Christian. I sung in the Christian choir. I understand the value. I even appreciate me being an Israelite in the understanding I have now, after going through that. But the Christian church is not the all to end all. A matter of fact, it's a trap for souls. And eventually we must overcome the ideology that keeps us trapped within it. And that's the angle we dealt with it. We gave you the history of Christianity when the Europeans began to hijack not the Bible, but the ideology. When they gained the higher ground, or the moral ground, or the institutional ground, to be able to push their ideology without resistance. It happened after the fall of 70 AD when our people ran into Africa. The Europeans came in, the pagans came in and hijacked Christianity. And that's the brand of Christianity we taught today. And that's why there's so many splintered Christian groups out there. It's no unified Christian doctrine like it once was under Christ. So I kind of figured that instead of just trying to break down every false fragment of the whore of Babylon, let's just go into what the ministry was under Christ and what the doctrine was under Christ before the Romans came in and destroyed it. And we're going to take it on the next level this coming Sunday with who is Christ? What is the fundamental foundation that Christ would have want us here in this earth to understand concerning his doctrine while walking on the earth? What is Christ's doctrine? Mm-hmm. And when you get this doctrine that we're going to teach, this understanding of Christ this Sunday, we're going to do it this Sunday. Our class is on Sunday. Guess what? You'll be able to use this and funnel all religions, no matter what Christian church you go to, through it to know whether or not you are on the right path. Not according to the Gathering of Christ Church, according to Christ's foundation. So I'm going to tell you, you don't want to miss that this Sunday if you're in this academy. It's going to be a great teaching with who's Christ. And then we have a new academy coming, folks. A brand new one, first week in a couple of weeks. So you better get in. Gathering as one at AOL.com, historytimes.org, or gatheringofchrist.org. Get in because you don't want to miss any of the 12 weeks. Okay? And I have a surprise that I'm going to go into in the academy with secrets of the times. We're going to go into secrets of the times, but I'm going to give a little caveat out there concerning Christ's birth. Okay? That a lot of you probably didn't know as far as why. Well, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Get in the academy and you'll hear it. Okay? It's going to blow you all away, but it's going to trip you out. You have to know the real time calendar that the Most High gave us of Sabbaths to know Christ's true birthday. We got it. And I'm going to drop that in the academy. Go to historytimes.org, gathering as one at AOL.com, or historytimes.org and enroll. Let me bring Gaja back in real quick before I open up the lines, and there's a few more things I want to go into in preparation. And I'm going to turn it over with you, Lawya. I'm sorry. I know you have a few things. I'm just going to give you the floor in a couple of seconds, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, Elder Gaja. Elder Gaja, you there? Did you hear, Elder Gaja, about the new video that's out, the new trailer that they have about Israelites, The Day Shall Come?
I saw a satire video. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
It's a satire video where they say let's create a new 911 using a black extremist and when I seen those when I seen them in all black walking down the street with the sticks, that reminded me of myself in the 90s when I was with the Israeli Church of UPK, first school of UPK, Israeli Church of UPK, when we used to march down the street on Cheltenham Avenue in all black with sticks. So that means they were watching us the whole time, even though they were acting as if they was downplaying it, wasn't even talking about it, saying, well, it ain't nothing. It'll never catch wind. It's to a degree in which they have to address it in satire right now. And I didn't know if you've seen it. All right, we're going to open up the line real quick. And then I'm going to turn it over to Lawya. No. Go ahead, Gaja. You said something?
No, yeah. I did actually see it. It reminded me of what Vocab Malone was doing, and trying to make fun of Israelites, and to downplay it, but
But there's a plan behind it. It's a plan behind it.
Exactly. The real thing is that the real thing is that Israel is waking up in droves. You with me? And that's a problem for the plantation. That's a problem for the established order right now.
Mm-hmm.
You with me? So whatever it is that they're doing, they are hurrying it up right now because why? People waking up. And the thing about it now is not just, everybody has encountered an Israelite. Churches now have defense mechanism for Israelites because people leaving the churches in droves coming out. So it's a problem right now. When you look historically, when you look at some history, like when you look at Pliny the Younger wrote letters on it that to Caesar that when the people were waking up, it was bad for business. They had no more control. I mean, in Acts the 18th chapter, let me grab that. In Acts the 18th chapter, Claudius expelled. Let me read. One sec. Here, Acts 18. And it says, after these days, Acts 18 and 1, it says, after these days, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all the Jews to depart from Rome. So this is where it's at. These people got to go. You understand? They gotta go. It's bad. The plantation right now is having a problem right now with this awakening. Because why? We're not supporting the pagan holidays no more. The holiday, the Christmas fun gone down. They can't pacify us right now with the politics. We're not buying into the politics. We're seeing right through it. You understand? So it's a problem right now. This awakening is a problem. And so they're gonna come with it now. They're gonna come with it with the comedy, and then it's gonna get real serious after that.
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. I mean, Claudius told them, "Yo, listen, get out. You need to leave." You with me?
Yeah.
They write this history, and Pliny the Younger wrote about it.
Yeah.
That, yo, listen, these people is bad for business.
Listen,
So,
people,
there's no
Gaja, people fail to realize, bringing your point, but people fail to realize, and you need to begin to question, why did the Roman Empire, why were they imprisoning and killing Christians? Mm-hmm. You don't see them trying to go against Christians today. So the brand of Christianity that you see that the Israelites have was a threat to national security back then. We were breaking their pagan stronghold on our people. The governments are funding Christian churches now. They're not killing and going against Christians. You have to realize the ideology is separating God's people. This truth, this Bible is separating people from Satan's stronghold over paganism. But go ahead, Gaja.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the same thing I was echoing.
Yeah.
That this is a problem. This is a big problem right now for the establishment, and whether we see it or not, they see it, because Elder, like you have always pointed out, we look at each other as oh, it's you, it's him. But when everybody look at us, it's them. We are one. We are the same to everybody else.
Yeah.
We're only different amongst us. You understand?
Exactly.
So they look at this and go, yo, listen, this is a problem. It says in Revelation 11 that great fear fell on them when life came back into the dead bodies.
Exactly.
So this is where we are.
Yeah.
You with me? Living in the calm before the storm.
Exactly.
Because now, it tells you in Second Ezra, hey.
Don't pull it.
Don't
pull it out yet, because I'm going to Second Ezra first. We got that one on lock. Hold tight. I know where you're going, and we're about to go there. Yeah, we're about to go there. So hold tight, guys. I'm gonna put you on hold, and we're about to jump in with Elder Lawya. Okay? The guys are on fire tonight. No oh yeah. Think about this, folks. Like Gaja was mentioning, right? Why were they throwing the followers of Christ in prison? Think about that. Why were they killing the Christians during Christ's time? Because Christ was known as a revolutionist. He was a black revolutionist, freeing us from what? Freeing us from the oppression of Rome. All throughout history, they tell you about this black man who was freeing our people spiritually from their stronghold, from their educational system. And I'm glad Gaja brought out one point that was profound. Even though we see ourselves as separate due to doctrinal differences or whatever the case is, we may see ourselves as Gathering of Christ Church. Another group may see themselves as IUIC, or another Israeli School of UPK, or House of David. But guess what? The powers that be, they're looking at all of us as one. Mm-hmm. God's people waking up. Because at the end of it, they don't get, it's not going to be the Gathering of Christ Church kingdom. It's not going to be the Israeli Church of UPK's kingdom.
Right.
So they know this particular ideology of us becoming Israelites, or us knowing our true origin according to the Bible, leads us to Christ. They understand this. It breaks their programming. So that's why they look at it as an overall threat, regardless of what group you're dealing with. They see all of this as one movement. And guess what? It's called the awakening. It's called the reviving in Hosea, the 6th chapter, of the Most High waking God's people up. The people that was put to sleep all at once. The question is, what are you going to do now? Right? Hey, are we a lost nation unprepared? And I'm going to go into that. But before I go into that, Elder Lawya, I'm going to give you the floor.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that question is very profound concerning, I forget who brought it up first, either yourself or Elder Rawchaa.
Yeah.
Why were they openly killing and persecuting the followers of Christ, and trying to tie this in with what we saw with the satire, the trailer, and also preparation? What must we do to prepare at this time? But first tying it in with the trailer of them trying to present Israelites as a terrorist organization.
Listen, I'm not saying, let me make it clear, I'm not saying that I'm one with IUIC or UPK. Everyone know the difference, okay? What I'm saying is our doctrine is Christ's doctrine. Our doctrine is according to the foundations given to Peter. You had Pharisees, scribes, Essenes, Zealots, Nicolaitans. You had a different divide of groups, even during the time of Christ, even those who denied Christ. But we were still one bloodline. And when the Romans examined us, they seen us as the children of Israel. Mm-hmm. So we was using that as an example. That when the overseers, when the people in control sees us, they don't really see a difference when it comes to the fact that no matter what the group is, it's going to awaken us and break us from the pagan control. From that angle, they see no difference. But of course there's a difference. We had a guy I never met before by the name of James White, who I've never met before, came on when that debate happened, said, well, I can clearly tell you straight out that the Gathering of Christ Church is different than these other groups. How would he know that? I didn't even know this guy from a can of lucite. But he was looking at all of us. Mm-hmm. He was examining this awakening as a Jesuit controller. James White is the guy who controlled the likes of T.D. Jakes. He controlled the likes of Creflo Dollar. You'll see James White in the background of all these black pastors. He's their controller, folks. So that's why they rolled him out. And he wanted to speak to us in particular. Right? Because they can't demonize us as some radical fringe group. We're here to stimulate ideas that leads people back to the Most High without offending other people. We know that, let me tell you, the truth is enough to destroy this whole thing. Christ says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And as much be at peace, as much life within you, be at peace with all men. Okay? So the whole deal is, yeah, we are different than these other groups because we pattern our doctrine after the doctrine that Christ gave Peter. But all in all, those that are looking at this are looking at an awakening of all our people coming into these groups as one awakening as God's chosen people, Israel. That's how they're viewing it. And then they break it down. But overall, they see it's the Most High awakening us all together, regardless of group. And that's the example I wanted to put out there, okay, the distinction. Go on.
Absolutely. And that's part of that's a great part of what made the ministry of Christ and those who followed Christ such a threat. It wasn't that they were trying to unify to become a rogue terrorist organization to take the throne of Caesar. It was the fact that they decided within themselves that they wanted nothing to do with the kingdom of Caesar. Christ says here in the book of St. John chapter 18, verse 36, Yeshua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should be delivered or not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence." So the desire of Christ and his apostles was never to try to fight to take the kingdom of Caesar or any government structure or establishment in this earth. It was to reject the government structure of the earth, the established government of the earth, and wait for the coming kingdom of Christ, under which all must bow. All must give up their crowns and acknowledge Christ as Lord.
Exactly.
Reading a few principles here of Christ's doctrine, because there's no way you can get a violent, terrorist, rogue type of organization out of these particular principles, going into some of the laws we were discussing earlier, right? And this is Christ's stance on the law. We know that Moses, he had his stance, thou shalt not murder, but Christ raised the bar and he took it to another level. Now check this out. He says here in the book of St. Matthew chapter 5, verse number 21, "You have heard that it was said of them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment." So not only under Christ's standard of keeping the commandments were you not allowed to murder, you were not allowed to even bring anger or welcome anger into your mind, into your heart, which would lead you to murder your brother or murder your sister. So these are the principles that were established in Christ, which if we follow, we actually become model citizens. We don't become rogue. We don't become terrorists. We don't become a militia or some type of organization that's seeking to destroy the government. We become model citizens because now we're not murdering. We're not finding reasons to be angry with people or angry with people without cause to the point of wanting to harm them. We're not stealing. We're not committing adultery. We're not doing those things, which would usually be considered the underbelly or a part of the underbelly of society. We're doing those things which would consider one to be a model citizen. So now the question is, why are they afraid? Going back to the story of Exodus, which you also mentioned earlier. It says here, this is their fear. This is not what we desire to do, but this is the fear of the government, and this is why they must put out certain laws and gun confiscation and industrial prison complex, put out movies and things of that nature, propaganda as a means to try to demonize those who have come to the awakening of being an Israelite. It says here, Exodus chapter 1, verse number 9. "And he said, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land." So this is an example of the government sitting amongst themselves, leaders sitting amongst themselves and coming to a conclusion that we desired to overthrow and overtake their government. This wasn't our desire. We weren't having this conversation in Egypt, but this was their conversation.
It's what they feared.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So because they have these fears, they have these thoughts in their mind that we seek to overthrow their kingdom, they now have to put certain things in place. They have to put legislation in place to keep us from assuming the position that they think we desire, when in reality, we don't desire anything from this kingdom. As Christ said, our kingdom is coming with Christ. Okay? The only thing we seek is to be left alone, as it says in Exodus 5. Okay?
And to serve our God, the God of Israel.
That's all we desire.
Keep your paganism, keep your Christian church, keep your politics. Let us serve our living God. That's it. We're not asking you for anything, okay? Because you cannot give us what was promised. You don't have it. It's not in your hand to give.
Exactly. That's right.
We don't need your reparations. I just put out some examples earlier to show our people, if you're going to deal with politics, you have to deal with it on a level that the Most High have given us to deal on. You have to understand what your rights are as a children of God and know what to ask for, according to his word. Okay? You can't ask for something. I've been oppressed, so give me something. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it doesn't work. I've been oppressed. I've been this. I've been that. Give me something. It doesn't work that way. What is your biblical right? What is yours? What is your right as a sovereign citizen of this earth, outside of what someone did to you? What did your God said belonged to you? What did He say belonged to you? Because that's what these so-called people who are claiming to be us are using. I just want to put it out there, even though we're not asking them for. Their issue is that we're not asking them for anything anymore.
Exactly.
That we don't look at them as the hand that feed us anymore. That we don't look at them as some high intellects or some people who have created or began civilization anymore. That's the issue they have with us, that we're no longer dependent on them. And guess what? And that's the issue. That's the issue they have. We have to create a terrorist. We have to engage them because they're freeing slaves. And you know this system cannot work without slaves being at the base of the system. You take away the slaves, the whole pyramid collapse. That's what they are afraid of. It's the idea that they're no longer needed.
And there's one more scripture I wanted to read, and you can elaborate. This is,
go on.
Judith chapter 5. I'm going to cut it short, but when you get the opportunity, read the book of Judith, the 5th chapter, to see the nation's perspective of how they view the nation of Israel and our interaction with our God.
Yeah.
Okay? It says here, I'm going to get straight to the point, Judith chapter 5, verse 17. It says, "And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they are scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world."
Okay, let me put this out there, because we have some trolls within our, and this is what we're talking about, right? We got someone named here, right? And I don't know whether to laugh or cry right here. What's the name here? I wanted to put this out there. Let me see if I can see, unless he's been erased already. Let's see.
Is this it?
His name, Killer of White Supremacy and Coons. See, we don't need no one agreeing with us with that particular name as a title. And I bet you if you click on this name, it's a page with no subscribers, nothing on it. It's a burner account, so that someone can look at us, look at our video, and pull up this name in association with it. Okay? Killer of White Supremacy and Coons. Nah, we're not killers, we're lovers. Okay? All right? We're not killers, we're lovers. We love Christ, and guess what? We look at the positive. We look towards the righteousness in a person, opposed to the evil that they can exhibit. We believe that everyone should have this opportunity to receive Christ and walk through that portal. That's what we are about. We're not about the killers of white supremacy. We're not about coons. We're not about none of these euphemisms that are out there, okay? We're about delivering the word of Christ, giving everyone an opportunity for Christ's kingdom to play their part in it. And I want to put that out there so that when they see that name, you'll know, guess what? It didn't work. Okay? It's about love, bringing forth the knowledge of Christ. And the greatest love is to keep the commandments. But go on.
I'm going to read the last 2 verses again. It
Yes.
says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God,
Yes.
let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So this explains why they need for there to be sin amongst us. There needs to be murder.
Exactly.
There needs to be adultery amongst us.
That's why they promote through the liberal system immorality and wickedness within our community. They need that. This is what gives them the moral high ground over us to say, look at those animals. They need us sinning. They need us killing each other so they can measure their righteousness or their piety to our immorality. That's why they push it amongst our community and promote it once it has taken root. Evil. They promote the evil amongst us because this is how they measure themselves. See? And that's why we say, listen, let's follow the law and let's not give them any fuel against us anymore. Right? But go on. I'm sorry about that.
Last verse, verse 21. But
Yes.
if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord pass by.
Yeah.
Lest their Lord defend them and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So they understand if we eliminate the sin from amongst us, the Most High now steps in. He now becomes our defender.
Exactly.
We no longer need your handouts. We don't need your prison system to protect us or your police system to protect us. Now the Most High is our protector.
Exactly. So they fear that. So they promote crime to become the judges and the authority by default. We need to be tough on crime. We need to do this. We need to do that. When really they're funding the crime. This is what keeps their system going. And I'm glad you brought that out. Anything else you got there?
Well, the last point I wanted to bring out is that we, as far as preparation, we have to appreciate what Christ gave us. The apostles, they ran into the same time, leading up to 70 AD. That was a deep time. The same way we're leading into troublous times.
Yes.
They were going into troublous times. But they first, before they could start moving into physical preparations and all those things, they had to appreciate what they received from Christ as far as the doctrine.
Exactly.
As he said, blessed are your eyes that they see and your ears that they hear. And that's what now eventually led them to now unite and do things such as having all things common and having a support system for the whole community of believers and, going to different places, preaching the gospel. It first started with them allowing that seed of Christ to grow so that they can build and become somewhat of an empire within an empire.
Someone asked, elders, are you guys ADOS? What we are is the children of Israel who follow Christ. That's who we are. Do we believe in certain tenets within ADOS? Absolutely. But we know that restoration won't come from Pharaoh. That restoration comes through our Lord. But the example that is being put out there, I know it's the Most High putting that idea out there to say, well, listen, we don't want politically what you've been shoveling us for years. Okay, there's a model out there that the Jews have of how to restore people after destruction, slavery, and Holocaust. And now we're thinking on a higher level because in Egypt, what happened? The Most High told Pharaoh, he told Moses to borrow from the Egyptians, knowing we were on our way out, to spoil the Egyptians because we're the people that made Egypt great. So I believe that that's on a lower level an ideology to take some spoils before it's over. Yeah. It's like, no, we don't want your welfare. We don't want your politics. We don't want your Democratic Party. And they stand up saying, listen, and I'm glad they saying, well, listen, in America, let's just focus on the American descendants of slaves. And I know a lot of people, Jamaicans and Haitians, they say, well, what about us? Well, you're not seeing the big picture here. If the model is made and it's accomplished, that's the model so that you can use everywhere else, like the German Jews use, or the Irish Jews use, or the American Jews use, doesn't matter your locale, you have the model to use for those against those who've oppressed you in your respective, slave lands. So they're trying to implode the model because the idea is actually biblical. See, we're thinking on a higher level beyond their politics that keeps us enslaved. Because that's how you implode the whole system. If the slaves get reparations or get restored, then you have no slave class. So let me tell you, it'll be war before they allow reparations. It'll be war before they release the prisons. It'll be war before they allow us to govern ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's what's about to happen. They see us speaking outside of their talking points and I'm going to tell you, they're panicking. They know that these ideas are coming from someplace else. The ideas are coming from heaven, folks. It's the awakening. It's the awakening. We're thinking outside the box. And it's to a point where the powers that be will soon pull the plug. And that leads us, let's get there real quick. Let's get it in Ezra. I need to read it real quick. What's about to happen now that they understand we're no longer going for their deceptive politics and religions anymore? A rendition. They're about to pull the plug, folks. They're looking to demonize and engage our people and try to claim that there's some black labeled extremists and all that garbage. That's what's about to happen. Let's read it real quick.
2 Ezra 16, verse 1.
Let's go.
Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair.
Now notice all these particular lands I've just mentioned is Iraq, Egypt, and Syria, the same lands that the New World Order powers have warred against within the last decade. The Most High is showing us in Esdras, which was written years ago, thousands of years ago, folks, the wars you're witnessing right now. Read.
Gird up, verse 2, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack, hair, bewail your children.
Let me get that Bible there.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Come on.
A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn?
Come on.
May one turn again the arrow that is shot of an archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
Come on.
Verse number 9. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth from the waves of the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also. Before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
Into the ends of the world. A nuclear holocaust is what the Bible is speaking of here. Read.
Verse number 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again, and they shall come upon the earth.
Come on. And I mentioned this in the academy last Sunday about the wars to come, the wars against the nations. Why? The Most High must bring forth this war to free our people. Because if it wasn't for this war, it would be our people, believe it or not, who would uphold the system and stay enslaved forever and choose captivity or slavery continually as freedom. So the Most High is going to muster up this war, which will lead to the first domino to fall. And it so happened we're living in that first domino. Read.
Verse number 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
Come on.
Woe is me, woe is me.
Woe means destruction. Destruction is me. Destruction is me. Read.
Who will deliver me in those days?
Who will deliver me in those days? That's why we asked the title, A Lost Nation Unprepared. We're living in the calm before the storm. Read it again.
The beginning of sorrows and mournings, and the beginning of famine, and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
And we all have those questions. What shall we do when it comes? It's coming. Read.
Verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Come on.
Behold.
That means even though we all are seeing the signs or witnessing the signs of the times, right? We see what's going on in the earth, the immorality, the wickedness, the storms. We see the earthquakes. We see the sicknesses. We see our loved ones dying. We see the natural disasters. We see the wall being built. But still, we're yet to repent. So what's left? Okay. Is there any other signs needed? So the Most High is saying, I've given them the signs of the times. I've awakened my people, and they're waxing worse. You can't see we're near an end. Read.
Verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth.
It says everything will be cheap on earth. Victuals shall be cheap, made in China. See? Slave labor. It says victuals shall be cheap in the earth. And because of this, the economy will flow fluidly to a degree of what? Read.
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
We're going to think that this, we begin to imagine or think that this economy will go on the same forever. Why? Because things are cheap. You're still buying. The commerce is still going. The parties are still hot. We're still, we're still living. To the degree, and the majority of people are saying, well, nothing is going to happen. Right? I'm safe. Read.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth.
Come on.
Sword, famine, and great confusion.
Sword, famine, and great confusion. And confusion is, Babylon means confusion, the land of Babel. Okay? And hey, tell me this country isn't confused. Okay? Tell me there's no confusion going on in this country. Total confusion. Read.
Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Come on.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
Read.
There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks.
Go down to the 38th verse.
Yes, sir. Verse number 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
Come on.
And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
On every side. Read. And we showed that wall earlier. Read.
Verse number 40. O my people.
O my people. The children of Israel, listen.
Hear my word.
Come on.
Make you ready to the battle.
Do what?
Make you ready to the battle.
This is a spiritual battle, folks. Get ready. Read.
And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Be prepared to walk away. Be prepared. Enjoy what you have. But know that it's only for a short space. And if you have to walk away from it, walk away. Be like pilgrims. Be prepared to walk away with what's on your back, depending on the Spirit of the Most High to guide you. Read.
Verse number 41. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away.
Come on.
And he that buyeth, as one that will lose.
Come on.
He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it.
Come on.
And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein.
Come on.
He that soweth, as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes.
Now, is this saying don't live?
Mm-hmm.
If this saying don't enjoy your life and the things you've worked for? No, it's not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy what the Most High have given you, but be prepared to walk away from it. Okay? Prepare your mind to know that stuff that you have is everywhere. You can get stuff anywhere, but the Most High only gave us one temple, one body. Don't make stuff your idol to the degree in which you die, and that place that you make or your house becomes your sepulcher. It becomes your tomb. Okay? Enjoy what you've worked for. You're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
But don't make it your idol.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Verse number 45. And therefore they that labor, verse 44. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods.
So eventually, what? The foreign troops will come in and take everything anyway. There will be a rendition. One thing, at the end of this, they realized that God would begin to awaken his people, and that the slaves would seek freedom. Okay? They knew this. So they said, you know what? It's time to engage. It's time to prepare the people by demonizing the population against this awakening as a pretext for engagement. Come on.
Verse 45, and therefore they that labor, labor in vain, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives, for in captivity and famine shall they get children.
FEMA camps, internment camps. Okay, if you don't believe prison is slavery, you got another thing coming. It's high-tech slavery. There's more people in America within the prison complex that's actually serving slave labor right now than at any time during slavery, when slavery was legal in America. There's more people slaving in prisons than there were slaves on plantations in the South. Today, slavery is real, thriving. It have never thrived as well as it's doing now. It's legal slavery. Read.
Verse 47, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons,
Come on.
the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord.
Come on.
Like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity.
And the Most High is talking about us in this shallow, and what you would call this shallow society, right? Decking the outside and furnishing the outside and making up the outside while the inside is destitute, while the spirit is dying. Caring more about building or showing forth how you look on the outside than preparing your spirit in the times we're living in today. It's more about the facade of how you're presented and how other people view you than who you really are in the spirit. The Most High says we should be spending more time nurturing and building that, opposed to the facade of a lifestyle of Babylon. Read.
And mention, just to add to that, that's what's going to take us through the long haul of this journey to the end.
Exactly, the answers.
You understand? It's, a lot of people, when we bring things out like this, is about, what we're going to do, where's the physical preparations, where do we go, why are you not putting out this information as far as what we need to do, so on and so forth. When in reality, this message is letting us know that we must correct the inside first. Because you can flee anywhere in the earth, but if you still got the same spirit that was shaped in Babylon, you're
What
just
good
taking
is it?
back. Exactly.
It's just geography. What difference if it's what difference it is in geography, in geography, if the spirit isn't right. If we haven't built inwardly this vessel to be used for the Most High to help God's people, what good is it? It doesn't matter where we are. It's just geography. One person, you could be wicked here, you could be wicked in Jordan, you can be wicked in Israel, you can be wicked in Egypt. Doesn't matter geography. It's about the inside of us and really preparing ourselves spiritually for this warfare. Come on.
Verse number 50. So shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall cause or accuse her to her face when he cometh, that shall defend him that diligently searcheth out every sin upon earth. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little while the iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth.
So a little while the iniquity shall be taken out of the earth. So don't conform to this world, folks. Even, let me tell you, there's a lot of political pressure, especially from the liberal side, the Democrat side, of sensationalizing buffoonery and sin amongst our people. Don't conform to that. Don't think it's cool to be acting out like they do on the housewives stuff and the reality shows and love and hip hop. Don't fall for it. Okay? They're trying to pump out future Cardi B's. Don't fall for it, folks. Men do not love anything about a Cardi B. Okay? A good man wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Okay? I'm putting that out there right now. Even men out there who are walking immoral. This whole thing is about to implode, brothers. It's about to implode. Read that last piece again.
Yes, sir. Verse 52.
Come on.
In fact, verse 51. And therefore be ye not like thereunto.
You don't have to be like them. And and to some degree, everyone is talking about this Dave Chappelle thing. You know what Dave Chappelle did? I heard a few pieces of what he said online. He met them where they needed to be met. He showed forth their hypocrisy and the wickedness and the immorality of this world. And he preferenced it and put it out there and had them see themselves for what it is. Okay, that's what he did. And the pieces I've seen. Because it's all foolishness anyway, and according to the Bible, it's going to be imploded. Right? Understand at the times, it's preparation time. It's time for us to get our spirits together and say, I'm not going with the status quo. This whole thing is going to hell in a handbasket anyway. It's over. Right? Come on.
Nor to the works thereof. For yet a little while, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you.
Exactly. The whole liberal movement will burn. It's unrighteous. It's going to burn. The whole liberal movement. The political system is over. The Democrat zone is over. The immorality that's being pushed on our people, the sexual immorality and all that, a reckoning is coming. The same reckoning that we read concerning Sodom and Gomorrah. It's coming. Right? Finish reading.
53. Let not the sinner say that he have not sinned.
And then here's the point. This is how this is how you fix this thing within yourself. That the sinner out there can't say, well, it ain't me. I don't have anything to do with it. No. When you begin to see these signs, and when we begin to see these signs, folks, that's what? The beginning of self-reservation or self-examination, and saying, what am I doing to contribute to this cesspool of Babylon? Am I contributing to this confusion? Being an American. Right? Understanding, knowing its judgment. Saying, well, okay, am I a contributor to this confusion here? Let me read the Bible. Let me look at these laws and see, if I'm contributing to this nonsense. See? Come on.
Let not the sinner say that he have not sinned.
And everyone, you point at everyone else, right? No one is blameless here. He says, first of all, it's time for self-examination, to ask the Most High to forgive your sins. It's time for atonement, a spiritual fast. I'm fasting off of Babylon for a minute, right? I'm fasting off of this, taking some self-reservation of myself and saying, well, hold up. If Christ was to come today, what side would I land on? Right? Read.
For God shall burn coals of fire upon his head.
Come on.
Which saith before the Lord God and his glory, I have not sinned.
Come on.
Verse 54, behold.
That means repent. Come on.
The Lord knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts, which spake but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. In his word were the stars made, and he knoweth the number of them. He searcheth the deep and the treasures thereof.
Let's go to the 68th verse.
Yes, sir, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
Look at that. The burning wrath of a great multitude. There's some plans going on behind closed doors against us. A great multitude is kindled over you. They're planning. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, like your Chinese stores and a lot of your stores, your Asian stores, like your Babylonian stores. They're feeding us things sacrificed to demons during this idle time. Read.
Verse number 69. And they
like halal meats. Halal meats is actual meats sacrificed to Satan. Did y'all know that? It's meats sacrificed to halal. Halal is Satan. But we're idle, not realizing we're eating things sacrificed to idols. And by eating and consuming these demons, the byproduct is our communities. Look how confused and destructive our people are. Why? We're being controlled by the demons we're consuming. It's on a high level, these witches and warlocks and sorcerers. They're praying demons and confusion. I would call spiritual drugs into our foods. Right? You can't go inside a white community and see all these different stores of different nationalities and different religions selling in their communities. It's confusion. They're praying. They have idols and all that. They have idols and all that. Demons and all that within these what you would call restaurants and establishments. Come on.
Verse number 69.
Come on.
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach.
So if you consent unto them, their religious tenets, okay, their confusion, you're controlled by them by not coming out from her mentally, spiritually, and otherwise, guess what? You'll be the target. The Bible says, because you're consenting unto them, they have you under their spell, under their control. What?
Shall be had in derision.
You shall be had in derision. Read.
And a reproach.
And a reproach.
And trodden underfoot.
And trodden underfoot. Wake up. Read.
Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Go on.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none. It's speaking of the government militaries here, folks. The international militaries. Read.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Come on. So their target is to kill those who are following God's commandments, who have awakened. See? Because why? When you become free, what happens? The spirit in you begin to free others, and it becomes a threat to Satan's society. This is what they fear. Read.
Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
Shall cast them out of their houses. Read.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
And at that time, when they begin to cast you out of your houses, because without the mark of the beast not being able to buy or sell, how can your mortgage get paid? How can your rent get paid? Unless you take the chip. At that time, we'll know who's really down with the Most High. At that time. Read.
Verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire.
Come on.
Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord.
Come on.
Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
They're what?
Are at hand.
They're coming. They're doing gun confiscation right now, as well as building that wall. 100 miles in is a buffer zone between Texas, Arizona, and the borders of South America. They're building that wall. East Coast and West Coast. The same time they're working on the roads. What do you think the roads are being worked on for? So you're not going to be able to travel from one city to the next without Easy Pass. Unless you have that chip, how will you pay Easy Pass? And they're broadening the roads for military vehicles. We're here. It's here. It's about to happen. It's going to go down. But what are we doing to prepare ourselves inwardly? Now, we have a few ideas to do things within our control. Not to deal with things or eat things sacrificed to idols. So when the Most High blessed us with something, blessed us with resources, we have to begin to establish our own restaurants and our own little things, even on the outside of the country, within the country, so that we know that what we're eating and what we are consuming doesn't have spirits and demons and all those things that come with these nations who have conspired against us. We have to use our gifts and use our resources from within the best we can. And of course, I'm only one man. We can't change the world, but we can do what we can within the gathering of Christ Church to begin to, put some ideas in place, to put some tangible examples of how much rich resources the Most High have within His people, so that we can see our value and how much we're gifted as a people. And this need to get founded out. We need to find that out now. These things need to be founded now, not later. What resources we... Yes. Yeah, gotcha.
Sorry to cut you out. I'm just about to step out.
All right, let me turn you up.
Letting you know.
Let me turn you up. Go ahead.
Yep.
I can hear you going.
Yeah, and just on an off thought.
Yeah.
I mean, just listening in Elder, right? Right now, you have people out there who have no idea of the truth, who don't believe the Bible. They call themselves doomsday preppers, right? Because based on what they're seeing, something is coming. I'd love to set up an interview with someone from one of these groups, who and just to hear their perspective on why the prepping, or what do they see coming over the horizon. What do you think about that?
You know what? You know what? Let's put Ramar on that. We're going to get one of these doomsday preppers because obviously they're prepping for a reason. They're looking to live off the grid for a specific reason. And I believe majority of our people, we need to hear what those reasons are. But we all know, because a lot of these people are history buffs. They understand when a society goes through a rendition. Every society must do so. You must reset every some odd years. And they know a reset, a serious reset, is about to go down in America. But it'd be good to hear a prepper's perspective of how they're preparing, what good ideas we can get from them prepping, and put out there just so that we can, so that we can actually, I would say, oh yeah, that's your phone there. You good? That was your phone? God, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah. Yeah, but, yeah, matter of fact, we're going to contact Ramar, and we're going to get a prepper on and get their perspective.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting just hearing, because, I've noticed, Elder, that when you find a lot of people who are detached from from society and like social norms, usually able to see what's going on, so it'd be very interesting to hear that perspective. Not that we would need, the Bible gives us all the perspectives that we need, but
yeah,
just these people don't believe in the Bible. I don't think, and they can see it, and it might be insightful for some of our own people, just to let them know that, listen, hey, the only people that don't really see what's going on, it's really us. Everyone else sees it. I mean, for years now, a lot of the rich elite been migrate, leaving Babylon, leaving America, going into South America. Like, we've spoken. I think we had one on the radio show with Azariah a few years ago. Yeah, you with me? Like people are actually coming out, and the Bible speaks of it. It tells you that in Jeremiah that they would return to their own country. Yeah. So it's seeing all of this manifest right now, real time.
Well, I'll tell you this, Gaja. That's why, even what we're doing with the music project, we have an album release coming October, and what I want to do is spearhead this with the music, and go into the communities and drop certain information that their politicians and their religious leaders aren't telling them, while giving concerts, free concerts and all that in our communities, and just drop biblical bombs on the people. Let them know, nah, here's the way out of this according to the Most High. Okay, we must reconstruct, we must totally rewire ourselves in these communities to actually get out in its, before the hell comes. And I want music to be that vehicle. I believe when we do this music, the church is going to invite us in. We may get some interviews. We may get on platforms that they wouldn't have invited an Israelite on otherwise, and drop the truth. Drop it like it has never been dropped before. And then, Gaja, we're about to do the Africa initiative. Make sure we have revivals all through Africa, have revivals warning people about what's to come during this awakening. How to prepare. We've tried it the church way. We've tried it the Muslim way. Now it's time to try it our God's way. We're taking this Bible literal. Right. We're taking this Bible literal. Okay, literally we're taking this Bible. We're the literal people of the Bible, and we're looking to the Bible for literal solutions. That's the plan. That's one of the plans. And what we're going to do also with the Passover that's coming. The waving of the sheaves usually is the first day of planting a seed. So what we're going to do is all of us, elders, deacons, and all that, we're going to have our little plot of dirt wherever we live at, and we're going to be planting real seeds of peppers, cabbage, kale, collard greens, onions, so that we can get one with the earth and know that the earth produces for us, and know that onions don't grow in supermarkets. And this way we can use our food to barter one with another to get used to wilderness living, to know that, that the supermarkets can't sustain us forever. We need to sustain each other. And see, that's an education beyond itself. It's about using the Bible, its tenets, its direction to sustain the nation. So that's the direction we're going into. It's not about talking about and just reading the Bible. It's about putting it in real-time action as examples. But go on.
Like I said, we have our Constitution here. It's in our hands.
Yes.
It's our culture. It's our history.
Yes.
Everything in it, everything in it, the Most High has given us. It's right. It's perfect.
Exactly.
So it's like you say, it's time to implement it and show Israel to the Jew first, and let the other nations also see that listen. Yeah. Everything else outside of this.
Yes.
Is the wisdom of this world is for the Most High.
Let me tell you, Gaja, a sister just sent me, and I thank you, sister from Florida, her and her husband, sent me some organic honey. And it's from their own hives that they have. Sent me a stack of honey, like containers of honey. I'm going to give you one too. It's at my house. But these are people within the church who have their own beehives, their own honey. It's just that we just haven't tapped into the resources, okay, that we actually have, that actually, that's the resources which are vibrant and active within each other. We haven't taken full advantage of the gifts one with another. It's like the other nations have taken all of our gifts and used them for themselves. But guess what? Hey, brothers and sisters, the Most High is turning this thing inward to the degree in which we as a people have to begin to depend on one another for real, for life. For life. And she sent those jars of honey, and I'm like, you know what? It's beginning. It's beginning. It's deeper than just reading the scriptures and all that. We are now nation building inwardly. We're sustaining each other inwardly and not looking for someone to help us on the outside. This is the time the Most High was talking about, the awakening, the time in which we would really begin to understand the value of being an Israelite. Right? But go on.
I'm with that, man. I'm with that.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Anything else? Because the lines are blinking. I got to get these people in, Gaja. Anything else?
No worries, man. I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna leave you, man. Enough love, enough respect, man, and I'll speak to you soon. All right.
I love you, brother. All right, shalom. All right. There's one more piece I wanted to pull out here, and then we're gonna pull in the brothers and sisters who are. 1 second. Who are on the lines? Read that last piece, Elder Lawya.
Verse number 72.
Yeah.
Or verse number 74. Hear ye, O my beloved, saith the Lord, behold.
Come on.
The days of trouble are at hand.
The days of trouble are at hand.
But I will deliver you from the same.
But the Most High will deliver us from out of this. Do you believe it? But we must first deal with the responsibilities that's upon us. We must first, folks, do our part. He's going to take care of his part. But it's time for the children of Israel, our people, to clean up what we can before the world powers begin to engage us. So that the Most High can send the angels to protect us at that time. We must fix what we can now amongst ourselves. Read.
Verse 75.
Come on, Key.
Be ye not afraid.
Be ye not afraid, and I wanted to emphasize that.
Neither doubt.
Neither doubt.
For the Most High is your guide.
The same God that gave us our name and our Bible back. He's with us. He said, don't be afraid of them. Pharaoh had his whole army. We was pressed between an army and the Red Sea. And the Most High showed his power. Don't be afraid, he's with us. He gave you your name back. Son of Zion, daughter of Zion. He's with you. He's with us. But we have to execute our part of the deal. Begin to cleanse ourselves up, get our families together, and follow his law. Read.
Verse 76, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts.
See that? That's the answer. Come on.
And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God.
Come on.
Let not your sins weigh you down.
Don't let our sins weigh us down now. Read.
And let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
And don't let your sins lift up themselves. We must control the flesh. Read.
Verse 77, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered with the bushes and the path covered with thorns.
Come on.
That no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith.
Come on.
Let's sit on that.
Don't let our sins weigh us down. Let's prepare. And it's exactly what we're doing even within the church itself, as an example of what to do within our nation. And we hope that what we're dealing with, the things that the Most High have given us the insight to establish, will extend even beyond the church.
Mm-hmm.
Even just as an example, right? A lost nation unprepared. We're living in serious times, and it seems our people are unaware. Immorality at an all-time high. The majority of the political and religious leaders are without direction. And it seems no one is preparing for the most prophetic time in world history. A world collapse, an economic world collapse, which will lead to a mark of the beast electronic system. Is there anything we can do to prepare in these days or in these times? Let's discuss options before the complete rendition begins here in America. Let me go down the line. We're going to try to do 1 or 2 minutes per call. Be brief, and please do not have us playing in the background. It makes for bad radio. 515-605-9327. We only have about 15, 20 minutes before this particular broadcast is over. Bring your insight. 318 area code first, and then after that, 518 area code, and then after that, 575 area code. Okay. Again, if I'm playing in the background, I'm going to go to the next caller. 518 area code.
Shalom, Elder, and Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, my brother. Shalom. Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. So I was listening in on the program tonight, and I wanted to tell you that, you know, me and my wife, we listen to your program, and we follow, you know, the GOCC closely, subscribe, and I'm into the academy as well.
Thank you,
and
bro.
some of the I am apparel, definitely like what you guys are doing with there. I'm calling from upstate New York, and about me, I was originally from New York City, born into poverty, into a family of 10 kids, number 9 out of 10, all born out of wedlock, right? Pretty much grew up in the project system, into poverty. When I hit about 12 years old, there was a white lady that came around, right? And they took me for psychological and educational tests, right? At Johns Hopkins University down in Baltimore. I was 12 years old. I spent the summer in Baltimore. And then after that, they shipped me away to a private school, prep school, where you have affluent children, right? Children of affluent individuals, influential individuals, right? And these are the people that make policy. You know, they're manufacturers, you know, they're politicians, they're lawmakers, they're entertainers, you name it, going up and down the line. This is where they send their children to get educated, so to speak. And so they took me out because they seen that I had possessed intelligence when I they had me like in special ed, and they do like a psychological. They always watching us. So, you know, they said, okay, this one right here, he's real smart. Let's see if we could work with him. And that's what ended up happening. So I ended up going to the school. And now that's been able to afford me to really, right now, work in the technology industry, right? I work with enterprise technology. We're talking all of the biggest technology companies, you know. I work with them, right? Closely as a consultant. And what I see here is the age of the technocracy, meaning they're going to use technology to control masses, right? And a lot of it has been put into place as far as infrastructure, as far as implementation. You know, everybody has a smartphone now. So once you get into that smartphone, you got that chip in your hand. That's the chip in your hand. That's the B system right there. You got that chip. They track everything you do with it, right? They can track your vital signs. They could track your location. They could track your buying habits. They could track what videos you watch. They can track what articles you read, whatever you think of.
I'm with you, brother, but keep in mind,
Right.
We have a lot of people, brother, so you got to do it in a timely fashion.
All right. So what can we do, the Lost Nation, to prepare for this? Well, right now, like you said, and I've been following you guys, we in the end time prophecy. And there's not much we can do is to let God's prophecy play out part. I totally agree with you. Cling strong to our faith. But we can prepare in certain ways. And that is, like you said, one of the keys that you hit on was with Moses when they told Moses to, you know, spoil you Egypt before they leave. Well, what does he mean by that? Well, if you understand the system is about organization, right? All the infrastructure, as far as like shipping, purchasing, being able to store things in warehouses, et cetera, that type of thing. You have to have...
Hey, brother, I'm with you, brother, but I got a lot of people. I'm trying to work with you here. I'm trying to work with you.
We need to be organized.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. You need to have our infrastructure organized.
So what are you saying
right?
in particular, though? What are you saying in particular? What one thing in particular are you saying it's needed for infrastructure?
Well, for instance, for infrastructure, number one, land ownership, right? We need to stress the fact of land ownership wherever we can, right? That means community pooling money to buy a piece of land that'll come a community land, right? The land is where, that's why it's called real property. That's why it's called real estate. That's the real money.
Okay, all right.
Is land. Well, so that's where you want to start in owning property, and then we can work from there. But thank you for the time. I don't want to keep everybody on. I appreciate.
All right. Well, I do have your number, brother. I'll call you. I'll call you on the outside of this, so that we're not dealing with the constraint of a phone, of a broadcast. Okay.
I think that'll work out better because I did want to reach out for you for a while. Then, like I said, following you. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let's talk some more and see what we can discuss about preparing this lost nation.
Okay. Well, thank you, brother.
So we can be prepared for this prophecy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I do appreciate it. Shalom. And I'm sorry, but we still have to deal with the confines of. I'm looking at, and it's telling us how much stream we have left. And eventually, it's going to just cut off in the middle of the broadcast. So, brother, I'm sorry, but I just have to, be respectful to others who are waiting to come in, okay? And I hope you all are respectful to others, to those who come behind you, okay? 575 area code, then after that, 502 area code. Shalom, you're live with the Gathered of Christ Church, a lost nation unprepared. You're live on the broadcast. Okay, 502 area code. We go into 502. And then after that, 512 area code. 502.
Hello, Elder Rawchaa and Elder Lawya.
Shalom. Hi.
What I'd like to share with you, this is Rawchaa. Hi. And my name is Rawchaa. And what I'd like to share with you today is something that, I've learned quite a bit from you all myself, and basically share that with my family, but I ran across something in chapter 58 of Isaiah.
Okay.
and it's actually speaking of an acceptable fast. First of all, we really need to clean ourselves. That way, the light of the Most High will shine through us. We'll be given His authority to be able to speak to other people and possibly introduce them to Him and allow them to follow Him. Now, I've got family members that I've been trying with a long time, but my immediate family, they've really taken hold of Christ doctrine that you all have been teaching. So we get together on a regular basis, and, I just share with them everything profound that you all have shared with me about how to be prepared. Whether we live through this tribulation or whether we don't, we will be prepared through it all. From the recipe, I call it, that you've given. And the scripture here talks about really acknowledging a proper fast. And fasting, I think, is a key element of what we're doing. And then I've also looked for food sources on the internet, which I've run across some really good food sources that would have a shelf life of 25 years. However, I do understand that eventually we'll have to live as pilgrims in the land. But at that point, I think if we've really prepared our vessels and understand the true doctrine of the Messiah, that wherever we have to journey, the Lord will sustain us.
Exactly.
And I just want to thank you all for all the revelation that you've given me that I've been able to share with my family and others. And I also understand this, that even though we're preparing ourselves for the Most High, the work of the Father is still not finished, and we still have to go ye therefore to everyone and make sure that they've heard the gospel, because the earth is not going to end until everyone's heard it anyway. So I utilize Sunday mornings to go into various Christian churches and Bible studies, which to me would be an appropriate arena for a woman, because I'm always thinking, what can I do for the Most High? And I feel really compelled to do this. And I go into Bible studies, and I just share with them the wisdom that you all have given me, who we are as a people, the fact that we need to return back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And initially, I didn't know those because I've been in a Christian church all my life.
Well, sister, I do have to go to the next person. I'm with you, but I have to be respectful to the people that's for you. All right, I'm with you. I'm going to place you on hold.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're welcome, sister, and bless you. And that is some good points she brought out. Okay. And I wanted to put out there that on the gatheringofchrist.org, we do have the corner. We have the family corner and preparation and things that you can actually look into for yourselves in preparation for, if the electric goes off, whatever the case is, food, storage, options. Of course, we're not without options on the gatheringofchrist.org. So go there and check those things out. All right. 803 area code. A lost nation unprepared. Let's discuss options before the rendition. Give us some, but please do it in a timely fashion. All right. We're at 512 area code. Shalom. Okay, 803 area code, then 440. Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Okay, 440 area code, and after that, 347.
Shalom, elders. Thanks for taking my call.
Shalom.
We're talking about unprepared, but for the people that are prepared, that are still being persecuted by this Babylonic system that wants to throw, the chosen people in prison, how do you prepare for that? I mean, when you're persecuted because of, maybe being assaulted by somebody, but the system says they don't look at that. They just look at the red people and take their side and then want to throw our people in prison. How do you prepare for that? Do you just say, okay, I'm not going to deal with this system?
No. Well,
Christ just go to another.
Well, Christ give us directions, sister, on scenarios when it comes to dealing or discoursing or just dealing with authority altogether. It tell you when you are when you were before the magistrates, agree with them immediately, lest you be thrown into prison and pay the uttermost farthing. So you must walk with wisdom. So it first start with walking with wisdom and understanding, you know, how you choose your battles constructively. And understand that if you're before the authorities, they have the power to take your life. So it comes with walking with wisdom, and we learned that. Have you ever been in our church? Do you congregate in our church?
Oh,
Huh?
well, not actually with the family, but like I've taken the academy, and I do apologize to you because I've taken the academy and I have not passed the final test.
Well,
and I'm
sister,
going to take the next one,
sister, you don't
and
ever
I'm
have
going
to
do
apologize to me. I'm asking you in general because the reason why I'm asking you is because if you're in the church with a body under the guide or leadership, those directives are given, you understand, by the elders of how to deal on the outside of the congregation, how to deal with authority and all those things. You understand? How to walk and be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And guess what? I've covered a lot of that on many of our lessons out there. Okay? We just
yes, sir.
And one thing I can say for sure, and I'm gonna put you on hold because we have to get the next call. We as a people in this truth have to understand that, not saying that she's doing anything in particular, but sometimes we get this knowledge and begin to oppose on others. We can't be out there picking fights. Okay? It's not about that. You're already a threat to society with the knowledge the Most High bestowed upon you. And that can be threatening to some degree within this system, this politically correct system. So some of what happens legally, we bring on ourselves by not walking with the wisdom that the Most High have given us with all this serious understanding. Right? So I hope I answered some of your questions, but all in all, we teach how to walk with this light, with wisdom within our churches.
Mm-hmm. If I could mention also, if also looking at the element for Christ's sake, like the apostles, no matter how much righteousness you fulfilled, you're going to have that element of being tossed into prison for whatever reason. What we have to realize, though, is that sometimes we're tossed in for our personal actions, more so than actually being persecuted for Christ's sake. So that's a major element. But also those who follow Christ and were doing all types of miracles and works in Christ, we're still cast into prison for doing work. So, you know, that element, to some degree, it's going to be inescapable, especially as we draw closer to the end, where this work and this ministry becomes more and more of a threat to the society.
Exactly. Like we mentioned earlier, that's part of the plan, is to enslave and to kill off those who fear the Most High. Okay, so you must be, we all must be cognizant of that and walk with the wisdom of the Most High to avoid as much as possible. All right? All right, what's next? Let's see. 803 or, that's 347 area code. Going down the line. We only have a few moments left. Shalom.
Shalom, elders. Elder, when you mentioned before someone sending you seeds, that struck a note in my heart. I'm originally from Missouri. I'm living in the Bronx now in New York, but I grew up in a small town in Missouri where everyone had big yards and gardens. My mother and grandmother grew just about everything. They had all the fruit trees. They put up vegetables. I watched them can and make the jellies and everything. And then when the young man that was a couple of calls ago was talking about, you know, we need to pull together and resources and pull together, I said, maybe we need our own kibbutz. And if that's the case, I'll be there. And it's just a funny thing, though. Just a few nights ago, I was on the internet researching, well, actually looking around at land for sale where you could grow, where you could raise sheep. And I did some research and found out the comparison of the profitability of sheep versus cattle, beef cattle. and the sheep is more profitable. And I was looking into that because a couple of years ago, I might have told you before, I had problems, and I had problems trying to find my lamb for Passover, and when I did, it was so expensive. And I was just thinking of getting into sheep farming. But if we're ever going to get to that point where we have our own kibbutz, count me in. That's all I just had to say was just that comment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sister. And that's another point, because what I would like to do, even from one state to the next, one city to the next, especially where our churches are located, okay, an idea is to have what you would call, a group market from one city or one state to the next, where it'll be online, where we can actually get our stuff close to us, that's organic, grown by our own people who believe the same thing. You understand? Be it if it's raw milk, be it if it's fruits and vegetables, whatever the case is, where you can just go online and pull it up on your locale and see that some of your regular produce and all that could be right next door to you, around the corner from you, all right, within your respective areas. That's something I would like to do as we expand as a church and grow as a nation, so that we can not only, be self-sufficient, but help each other and feed each other also. So these are things that are coming down the pipeline, so that we can, become so that we can become self-sufficient in the Most High and help each other. That could become employment for a lot of brothers and sisters who grow their own produce and all that. So that's coming down the pipeline. And you go online, you go to the Gathering of Christ Church, you look in your area and say, yo, look, here's what they growing this month, and this is what they got, the food, this particular produce is in season, boom, boom, One more. Let me go down the line here. All this is coming down the pipeline, right?
Absolutely. And I think that, of course, these things will be things that we discuss as a church, as church initiatives.
Exactly.
We don't want this to be a thing where now, someone takes the idea and they run with it, and now there's
exactly. Then send me an email and say, yeah, Elder, I'm doing this. And we put it out there and saying, we're dealing with church initiative, then someone try to jump over us.
Right.
No. What we're talking about is a collaboration within the body itself, where we're working together, not someone taking an idea and say, well, here's my niche now. I'm glad you brought that out. We continually deal with issues like that. 315 area code. Shalom.
Hello?
Shalom, 315. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. You're live.
Shalom. Hey, I was just wondering, as long as through the about prophecy wise, I know it's a little bit different from what people were just talking about, but like in the book of Daniel, for instance, is there with the ram and the with the little horn, is there a video that you guys have on that? A scripture that breaks that down, because I know you guys with the academy, but I've been looking through different things, and I haven't really seen people really hit that, but I know that's a relatively close time.
Are you talking about Antiochus Epiphanes?
If you're talking about the ram and the little horn, I'm thinking you're dealing with Daniel, the 8th chapter, where it speaks about the ram.
Correct.
And then it speaks about the goat. The ram represents the Medes and the Persians with the 2 horns. Then you have the goat with the horn coming out of the head. The goat represents the Greek Empire.
Yeah.
And the horn represents the first king, which is Alexander the Great.
Yeah. And we taught that in the academy.
So would there would be a revival of the Greek kingdom?
Not necessarily. Those prophecies are historic prophecies. When Daniel was on the earth, when he received that was before the Greeks came on the scene and were actually reigning. During that time, I believe the Medes and the Persians were reigning at that time. So that was a prophetic prophecy at that time that eventually became history when it came to pass.
Yes. It's nothing to look forward to prophetically in today's time. Okay?
Okay, because I had seen a couple videos where there was people breaking that down, and they said something about with Turkey and something along that.
No, it has nothing to do with Turkey. That's bogus diversions. Has nothing to do with Turkey. The people in Turkey right now are Jewish people. Okay, that's it. They Jewish. That's it.
And what you get a lot is a lot of these. I'm not sure if this is the case. Not to cut you off, but a lot of times you get these right-wing Christian pastors, the John Hagee, so on and so forth, who try to take some of these prophecies and try to relate it to current events or current presidents or you know whatever the case may be. But a lot of that is fallacy and pro-Zionist propaganda.
Yeah, it's false. It happened already, brother. All right, it's no different than the 4 beasts of Daniel. Those prophecies link into the 4 beasts of Daniel. Right. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys have a video on Daniel at all?
We do it in the academy, Daniel the 7th chapter. We actually broke down what you've just mentioned. In Daniel the 7th chapter, the 4 beasts, the 4 beasts of Daniel. All right.
Okay. I was just in the academy, not this past one, but the one before that. So I'm going to go back and recheck.
Well, we actually went into Daniel the 8th chapter this academy. And that's what we telling people, brothers. Place you on hold. Even though you have frequented past academies, even if we teach the lesson with a title, we never teach it the same, even if it had the same title of the academy before. We teach it from a different perspective every time and actually go more in depth from one academy to the next so that the lessons do not become redundant. Okay, so we build on every academy and add information. Matter of fact, Daniel the 8th chapter was added into this this 4 beasts of Daniel. So, all right, no, I'm glad you broke that down. It's really the same prophecy of the 4 beasts. All right, let's go down the line. We only have a few moments left. We have 662. We've been waiting on for 50 minutes, so I have to bring you on now. A lost nation unprepared. Okay, let's discuss options before the rendition. Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church.
Shalom, elders.
Shalom.
I'm not gonna hold the line long. This is Anthony from Mississippi. Just wanted to get in contact with you guys to see when will y'all be giving me a call. I know y'all very busy, y'all very active, but just whenever you can, just give us a call.
Okay, Elder Lawya is putting your number right down. Right now, he's writing it down, and you'll receive a call tomorrow, okay? Okay?
Yes, sir. Truly will be waiting.
All right, bless you, my brother. Shalom. Okay, 708 area code. 708. Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church.
Shalom, elders. How y'all doing tonight?
Blessed by the best, and his name is Ahaya. Talk to me.
So one of the things that I know I had to prepare myself for the most was definitely my faith. I remember when I first came into the truth, everybody else seemed so happy, and I was scared. I'm like, we got to leave America. We got to go in the wilderness. We got to what? I'm like, oh, no. And it was hard for me to accept for a while. Not so much that I didn't believe it, but just because I felt like I wasn't prepared. And I know for me, I had to take things a situation at a time and a day at a time when it comes to trusting in the Most High and not allowing my faith to waver. I remember when I first got my Hebrew name, Elder Rawchaa and Sister Robin, they gave me my Hebrew name with building faith because it wavered so much. So I just started to study in Exodus when we first came out of Babylon and to look at my ancestors and see how they were. And at first I was like, I would never be like that. Then I'm looking at them and I was like, wow, that's me. Even when it comes to the complaining, I remember when they first came out of the wilderness and they were supposed to take the land back and they were afraid and it just irked the Most High. So that's just, something that I want to talk about. I know I can't be the only one because we are Israel and just taking it one situation at a time, whether it's my job, my family, or whatsoever, just believing in the Most High and not wavering and remembering that, you know, He didn't give us a spirit of fear, but, you know, to trust His judgment, whether His judgment is terrifying or whether, you know, at the time it looks beautiful, just to trust His judgment and know that as long as I'm doing what He asked me to do, I'm going to be all right. And, you know, as Israel, we think we're going to be good now, but when we get out there, it might be a different story. You know, that fear could take us, that fear tends to, in looking in the scriptures and our history, that fear tends to shake us sometimes. So I don't want to say much, but, you know, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the lessons and the wisdom that y'all give us, and I pray that y'all have a blessed night.
Oh, sister, and we only got 10 minutes, but let me just ask you, how old are you?
I'm 24 right now, but the Most High brought me into the truth at the age of 18.
18. Okay, sister, there's nothing to be scared about. Okay, not at all. Not at all. Nothing to be afraid. Do what you can control. It's abstaining from sin, doing what's right by your family, keeping God's law, and you'll be directed. And it's good. You're here in the church in Philadelphia, and you know it's the shepherd's position to protect the flock. So there's nothing to worry about, sister. As long as you are right and are not sinning against God's law, the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. So don't never walk in fear. Okay? I'm going to place you on hold.
All right.
All
So
right.
what else?
Are you in the bar? All right. We only got 10 more minutes. Let me jump down here. And I want to say next week, Elder Lawya, because of the release of the music, next Wednesday broadcast will be the release. We have a release party for the church, which will be October 13th. It's for not just the church, but the people who want to become a part of it or go to it October the 13th in Jersey City, where the music project will be released, and that music project will catapult the revivals and the shows we'll be doing, spreading the truth from one place to the next with the music. What we want to do is have a listening session for snippets next Wednesday for the whole project, so that all the brothers and sisters can know what's in store for the long-awaited Purpose album of the Gathering of Christ Church. So next Wednesday will be a listening session. We'll sit around. We'll let you enjoy some of the snippets and talk about some of the ideas that came behind the songs and get this thing moving so that you'll know where to get the project, how to support the music, and I hope you enjoy what the Most High have had almost a decade in waiting. Okay. So the next week is going to be about the music the Most High blessed us with, and I hope you all enjoy it and support it. Next week, the Purpose Release broadcast. Next Wednesday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. And we have you on one with the Lord's Prayer, and we're going to put you on a few more. Don't worry about it. But hey, it's going to be a great project, and I hope you all support it. 575 area code. Last call.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm out here in New Mexico.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm in New Mexico region of Elder Rawchaa. I just wanted to say, some of us know that besides the 10 commandments, if we break a commandment, there are laws of restitution. But most of us are taught just to say, I'm sorry. But there's no repentance if we do not restore the wrong we caused. But on another note, I want to say, we do not want or believe the American dream. What GOCC has is greater. It is the 12-tribe dream.
Oh,
and
praise the
taking
Most
the
High.
gospel to all nations.
Yeah.
We love and esteem other so-called tribes, Negroes, Indians, Italians, Levi, Mexicans, Dominicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Australians, well, and the rest of the tribes. We respect these tribes' language, food, music, customs, and uniqueness.
Yeah.
As we all come to the full knowledge of the gospel.
Yeah.
And in Acts 47, we're merging to that, praising God and having favor with all people. in 1 Corinthians 6:1, it says, dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust
Yeah.
and not before the saints? Say, no way. We know our elders, bishops, and deacons have our back.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to say. Shalom.
Shalom, and all praises be to the Most High. And we're going to talk about the preparation more as the time grow near.
Mm-hmm.
A lost nation unprepared. But guess what? A lot of you are in the know. We're in the know. And guess what? We will not be taken as a thief. We'll be prepared. We'll begin with our own homes, exalting and establishing the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible within the four corners of our house, within the four walls of our home. We'll teach the law, statutes, and commandments to our children so that these laws will be frontlets between their eyes. Okay? Okay? We'll actually deny and push off, okay, the progressive liberal agenda that's pressing upon our children and guide our children into a righteous lifestyle opposed to alternative lifestyles. We'll stand with the Most High in Christ, and the greatest preparation begins with self-examination. With that, I'm going to say Shalom of Elder Rawchaa, the Gathering of Christ Church. We'll be back, Lawya and I, this Saturday with a lesson for the Sabbath. I know you've been waiting. We're coming back this Sabbath, and we're going to go a little bit into the Battle of Armageddon and the wars that are preparing on the outside of the United States so that you all will be in the know, okay, so that you can see exactly what's going on prophetically. And it's hard to see what's going on with all the distractions within America itself, but it's about time all of us, go into this Bible and realize what's materializing prophetically on the outer borders of America. And that's what we'll discuss this Sabbath. Anything else, Elder Lawya?
Well, that's it. I mean, what more can be said of tonight's topic? Again, very profound in the sense that, as the time draws near, we are having these conversations more and more, starting with the self-examination aspect, which will eventually move into, and hopefully some of those things have started as far as physical preparation, so on and so forth. And, hey, I can't wait till the Most High. We see the full power of the Most High deliver us and bring us to our fullness as a nation. So with that, I say shalom, and you all have a blessed evening.
Have a blessed evening, brothers and sisters. And guess what? We'll soon see Zion. And guess what? Hey, brother, it's glad to have you here instead of a picture I'm looking at on the screen. It's good to see you next to me, man.
It's good to be here.
Man, bless you, my brother. And we love you all, and thank you, brothers and sisters, for your continued support of this church. And your prayers, believe it or not, are heard and felt. We thank you for your support of the Gathering of Christ Church, and we'll continue to fight on the front line for you, our people, the children of Israel. May the Most High be with you. Stay blessed and sin not. Shalom.
Shalom.
To Zion. To Zion. I was lost.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I'm a child of Israel. I heard the sound. Please give me the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way.
The up. Christ Church would like to invite you to enroll in the new upcoming Hebrew and Bible Academy, which begins December 23rd. The Academy is a 3-month online course which includes 12 live biblical lessons taught by the elders every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We deliver weekly analyzed news with Elder Rawchaa and Deacon Shapat with commentary on how it relates to Bible prophecy. Elder Rawchaa insightfully teaches each online Bible lesson in a personal classroom setting to enrich your learning experience. Additionally, Elder Lawya provides an introduction to the original Hebrew language, including grammar and conversational Hebrew. For new and returning students, now is a great time to enroll, as we are happy to announce that we've added never-before-taught lessons on Daniel 9, the prophecy of the final 7 years, the Battle of Armageddon, and the 1,000-year reign. This intensive course has been meticulously customized and enriched with PDF booklets and downloadable videos, automatically emailed to you after every live lesson. Enroll today at historytimes.org or email us at gatheringas1@aol.com. We look forward to seeing you there.